Namaste, everyone. Today's Thursday, so it's Yin Day. Yin Day is an important day for me because Thursday is also Guru Day. And your guru could be a teacher, someone in your life that brings insight to you, but your greatest guru is your highest self. And I love Yin Yoga because it gives us the opportunity to really drop inside and to reconnect to that higher aspect of ourself. So that's part of our intention for today. The other piece of our intention today is actually going to be taken from the last video that Allison and I put out on that new YouTube channel called Awakening Soul Truth. She received a download the other day, and she wrote a letter to humanity. We started it off with that letter, and then we continued the discussion from there. And I'm not going to get into what the discussion was about. There's just one snippet in there that I thought was very relevant to yoga and a really important statement. And that is this: our breath alone proves the importance of our existence. And I just want you to take that in. The breath alone is proof and evidence that we should be here, that we're meant to be here. And that's what we're going to be focusing on as we go through our practice today: the importance of the breath and the importance of looking at ourselves and seeing that we are valued and we are worthy and we are important. So we're going to start. Let me see. How are we going to start this practice? I just did this at the studio, but I didn't have anything mapped out. I'm trying to think what we started with. I will meet you on the mat. So the first thing we're going to start with is swan or pigeon. And if anybody needs deer pose instead of pigeon, you know, you can create this formation with your legs and descend over. But if you want the pigeon or like swan, you will tilt your pelvis so that your hip bones feel level and even. Your left knee is off center towards the left side of your mat. You're sliding the right leg back behind you, and then you're gonna walk out with your arms. If you want a prop like a bolster to lay on, you can. If you need to stack into prayer hands, stack fists, or if you have the opportunity to just spill down to the brow, then you can also go into the pose this way. Basically just trying to find your edge of flexibility, submitting to gravity, closing the eyes, tuning into your breath. Remembering the breath is all we need to remind ourselves that we are important, we are valued, and we are meant to be here. Don't be overly concerned if you feel a lot of density in this left hip. This is one of the areas where we tend to make a lot of life deposits. Let's try to soften the muscles around this region. And the breath down into your hips. Let your hip begin to unfold. If you dropped into your edge, but it starts to be too much, you can always back away. If you started off at your particular edge and then your body began to open, you might be able to drop more. But let go of any expectations, either way. We'll take about 3 more breaths. Maybe end with a cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling with a sigh. And then inhaling, you're gonna back up and walk your hands closer to that left knee. Plant them down, but keep your hips kind of sedated initially. And then we're gonna come more towards an upward pigeon, which is more active. So to be more active, we walk the fingertips in, we back the shoulders up over the hips, we press through the knees, we scissor through the thighs, we pull up through the pelvic floor, in and up through the navel, maybe taking the arms up if you don't need the hands. And then exhale, hands down, curl the back toes under, step it back, downward facing dog. Now when the head bows, close your eyes and just feel that flush and that disbursement of energy and circulation running down the left leg into the foot. And feel as though any toxins, any tension, any like deposits are draining out of that left foot, being sent down into the earth for transmutation. Press into your hands, reach up and out through your wrist, and then slowly travel the hands in the direction of your feet. Lower your heels, bend your knees, and bow. Let your arms and the head flop. Your eyes can close. Your cheeks may feel heavy. But try not to grind or grip your teeth. Or not to purse or pucker your lips. You might even experience a variation between the left and the right leg here. You may actually feel a little longer on that left side. I promise we'll match it up in a moment. But for now, be here. And hone back in on your breath. Maybe even affirming, I am important. I am valued. The breath is my proof that I'm meant to be here now. Continue to let go. And let go some more. And let go even more. On your next in-breath, walk out on your hands. Stop before you get to the top of the mat to sail your seat back again to downward facing dog. From this inversion, we'll take pigeon or deer with the right knee in the lead. So let your right knee come forward behind your right hand. And if you need deer pose, slide your left leg up and fold. If you can stay on the top of the left thigh and your hips stay square, Then you're going to walk it out to swan or pigeon. And then you'll probably, most likely, notice immediately if there's more or less density. What are you working with on this side? Keep the attention turned within. Listen to your higher self. Soft, inner, subtle whisper. Appreciate and acknowledge each breath. Allow the pose to work in your favor by taking longer, slower exhalations. This will help to sink you into a state of sweet surrender. Just a few more breaths. So they say like every 12,000 years, the planet moves through an area of space where tons of photons are located, which are light particles. Just think of the storm that we had come through here yesterday. Instead of picturing the rain falling from the clouds, think of the sprinkles of light coming down to us, bringing with it insights and information, intelligence, to help us through these transitions and transformations. Inhale, it slowly start to lift. Stack onto your palms and lean forward. And if it's a challenge for you to take the next step, you can stay here. Otherwise, walk your hands in, push down through your knees and thighs, back the shoulders over the hips, pull up through the pelvic floor with your root block, maybe free up your hands. And then exhale, bring the hands down, curl the back toes under. Step it into downward facing dog. And then from your downward facing dog, take a full breath. Remembering being inverted is good for the lymphatic tissues in the upper body. And then walk your feet forward. Soften your knees when you get there. And bow back into dangling pose. So just as the name suggests, or just dangling here. Think of your upper body hanging like a weeping willow tree. Remember, energy is vibration. Vibration is movement. So even though you're in a place of stillness, you might actually notice some slight swaying or pulsation. Next in breath, left leg is going to step back. Your hands are going to lift to crescent lunge. Now glue that front foot down to the mat. Look straight ahead with your eyes. Lace your fingers together above your head and then see if it's possible to do a slight back bend. On your next out breath, you're going to lean forward with your torso. Please don't lay the belly over the thigh, just lean that direction. And then hands descend, back knee spills down. Stack your right hand on the right thigh, and then you're gonna bring the center of your chest over to the knee, and you're gonna lay over it and drop the head. So what we're trying to do is put the knee at the top of that sternum. There's an acupressure point there for the heart center, and it may feel slightly tender. I'm doing this pose today because when these fronts come through, it can mess up my allergies. It may mess you up as well. And this pose stems from Swarupa Yoga. And this particular pressure point, they suggest, is great for allergies. So we're going to try it out today. Inhale, lift the head up. Curl the back toes under. We're stepping to plank. We're rocking forward, lowering down to chaturanga. We're building into a back bend as we breathe in. And as we exhale, we're going to keep the knees on the floor and we're going to rock back to extended child's pose. Now from this position, we're going to rock back and forth. So inhale, come forward again to a modified up dog. Exhale, child's pose. Do a few more. And the next time you sink to child's pose, be here now. Big toes joined together. Elbows on the mat. Fingers slightly curling in. Resting on the face. Close your eyes and breathe. Inhale, rock forward, hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. We're going to take that sequence to the other side. So that means we need to step the left foot forward. Take your time getting there. Once that foot feels secure, lift up to crescent. And find your drishti point. This is a balancing pose. Hands laced together above. Firm the arms close to the head. Maybe open the heart. And then tip forward, a variation of lightning lunge. Staying angled above the left thigh. Exhale, hands down, back knee down. Left hand will be inhale. You'll shift the sternum over to that knee and then drape the head. Curl the back toes under, plug up that back knee, and then we're gonna shift and slide the left foot through. We're gonna continue to slide the left foot and buckle the arms, and we're going to slide the right arm out, the left arm to the left side, and turn down to one cheek. A variation of 4-point star. All 4 limbs facing different directions. And we're based on the out seam of the left leg and hip. And we're going to increase the work here in just a moment. Now, we're going to slide the hands in so that we're creating Sphinx arms and propping the chest up. Hopefully you can sense that deeper work now that we're lifting the torso. Now, of course, you have the option to stay here or to go back to the first phase. You also have the option to lift the elbows. The hands are more forward of the shoulders for this kind of hybrid blend of a pose. And if this gets to be too much, being lifted higher, remember you can always sink to Sphinx arms. Your hands are going to walk closer. Your back toes are going to curl. And then we're going to lift that left hip and take the left foot back, plank. All right, when you're ready, the right knee slides up underneath the belly to slide the right foot through. All right, we're going right down to the outer thigh, left arm forward, right arm to the right side, and pour down to the opposite side of your face. You can choose this first phase, or you could lift to the second phase of Sphinx arms. Patience as the tension unravels. Using your breath as a way to stay calm. And as a way to acknowledge you are meant to be here now. If you want to stack on the hands and lift even more, you can try this out. But again, it's possible you might be able to do one side and not the other. So honor each one respectfully. Walk the hands closer, buckle the arms, curl the back toes, lift the right hip, send that foot to plank, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, I want you to look forward towards your hands. Step the feet behind them. Bend the knees, drop into your yin form of squat, hands to prayer as you spill down. Now, obviously, if you need this to be more gentle, right, you could bring a prop to sit on, a bolster or a block. You can even do this from sitting on the floor. Few more breaths. And when you're ready, you're close to the floor, just softly come down. Slide your feet out, create a diamond shape with your legs, and then fold over your lap. Rounding the back if it's healthy, straightening the back if you have disc issues. Inhale slowly, start to come up. And you're gonna lift your left knee, cross it over to the right. Lift up through the top of the head and wind your way around and start to walk the arms out. Now, you can stop here on Sphinx arms, or you can pour to the chest, to the face. Breath is the only proof you need to know that you have a right to be here, that you were meant to be here. Let's slide the hands closer. Let's pick ourselves up, walking the hands in. And then this is that two-sided twist. So we'll just turn the body, spin the knees the other direction, lift through the crown, turn through the belly, walk it out, and lower back in. And slowly walk your hands in, peel yourself up. Turn back to face the front. I'm going to give you guys an option for the next pose. I had to grab my block. So I was going to show you a yin pose that honestly I hardly ever do. And it's for good reason, because I'm losing the curvature in my neck. So I'm going to do it today just because I rarely do it these days. But I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple alternatives. Basically, we need an inversion. So if you wanted to do the supported bridge, if you prefer doing the supported waterfall, of course, this is an option for you. If you want to join me in snail pose, there's a couple ways of doing it, where your hands are supporting your back or crossing behind your legs. Usually I cross the arms, but today I'm going to support myself just because I haven't done this in a while. Pick one of the inversions. But even if you pick the bridge or the waterfall, I want you to consider the shell of a snail and how it has that spiral design. The spiral design that shows up in nature in so many different and various ways. The spiral going in is about moving within. The spiral coming out is what we're offering the world. In any of these poses, there's a lot occurring in the neck to keep your head stationed in one place. Chin in line with your chest. All right, now I need to come out of snail. So I'm going to unroll. And if you guys are using the block, press your feet into the floor, tuck and lift, and send the block to the side. Roll over, pick yourself up, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next with the bolster. Now, I keep forgetting to replace mine in here with the rectangular one. It doesn't matter if it's rounded or rectangular. But we're all going to do this, and I'll show you really quick before you get into it. We're going to be straightening the legs out, doing more of a full bridge to open up this area. But then we're going to bring it into a half frog leg like this. Okay? So go ahead and set up on your back, tucking and lifting to put the bolster under the sacrum. And then see if you can straighten out your legs. And just allow the front side of your hips and the lower part of your belly to open up. And if you want, you can even send your arms overhead like a Y. Usually that feels pretty good to the chest. Relax and breathe. Affirming, I am important, I am valued, and my breath proves I am meant to be here now. Now we're going to move into the half frog leg. We're going to start with the left. So bring that left knee up, but not up towards the chest, up to the outside of the body, and allow your left hand to hold it in place. It's almost like a half saddle, but I prefer calling it frog leg. Inhale, knee to center, and then extend your left limbs. Pick up your right foot. Bring the knee to the outside of the body. Catch it with your right hand. You can support it in that shape. This is going to be our final inversion. We've already done our final twist. So after this, we'll take Shavasana. Relieve that right side. Spread back out. This may feel so good to you that you want to be here for Shavasana. And if that's the case, just stay. But if you want to change it up, I would suggest bending the knees, walking the feet back, bringing the hands to the bolster so that when you tuck and lift, you can just shove that bolster down past your buttocks, lower to the sacrum, and then let your legs drape over the prop. See if this feels more ideal for Shavasana. And if you have a better plan, you can change it. For our time in Shavasana today, I want you to put the emphasis on your breath, the relevance of the breath, the power of the breath, and the breath being proof and all the evidence you need that you're meant to be here now. deep breath in. As you exhale, hug your left knee only. Release the left and tuck your right knee in. And then both knees. Apanasana. Rolling to one side. Coming up. And we'll conclude our practice. Resting the eyes closed. The hands down. Joining now the palms together. Give gratitude for the breath. That is the evidence that we are meant to be here now. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.